Hey everybody, welcome back to Camping and Ham Radios. Doing a little bit of solar panel testing today. The last video I did talked about QRP. We were talking about using 1.5 amp hours an hour for heavy QRP usage. This is what the clouds look like today here in Florida. We got some clear blue, but we also have some pretty thick, fluffy white clouds. Right now the sun is behind that one up there. So if we come down and we look at our power pole mini, it's kind of hard to see it, but the solar panel is putting out right at an amp right now. It had been putting out about 0.6. Now it's climbed back up to 1.22. And this is going into a battery that is not fully charged. All right, the battery is accepting a charge. We could see our status here is charge and not float. One of the things you have to keep in mind when you're testing solar panels is and batteries and charge controllers is that the battery can still take the charge and it's not into float mode. The other thing, this panel has been out here for a while, and as a result of being out here for a while, it's up to temperature. When panels get hot, they don't put out quite as much energy. So the question is, if we were in the park and we were using 1.5 amp hours, based upon the way the big fluffy cloud is sort of blocking the strong sunlight, we're still getting 0.61 amp hours. Still getting 0.61 into the panel. When the sun comes out from behind the cloud, it jumps up over 3, like to 3.2 amp hours, which is twice as much as we would need. And again, this is my smallest solar panel, a 60 watt panel. So I'm going to say that for QRP radios, if our goal is 1.5 amp hours, that on a broken but sunny day like today, that should not be a problem, even if we're using a 60 watt panel. And this is a PWM type of solar charge controller, which is not quite as efficient as an MPPT. I think this panel is a monocrystalline panel, which is good, but it's a hotter day, so we're going to have lost a little bit of efficiency there. All right. Now I looked at the power consumption specs for the ICOM IC705, which goes up to 10 watts when operated on 12 volt DC. And if we had a 50-50 cycle on it, it's receive for an hour plus its transmit at 10 watts for an hour divided in half for 50% power cycle would give us a power budget of 1.75 amp hours an hour. So a little bit more than the Yaesu, but not a lot. And so I'm going to say, based upon this, unless it's a particularly cloudy day, I think a 60 watt panel and a solar charge controller, even an inexpensive one, that gives you maybe, let's say, a limit of 10 amps, I think that's going to be just fine. It's going to be able to collect all of the sunlight you need to replenish it as you use it during the day maybe gradually running at a deficit, but to give you an extended operating time. Now my next test is going to be on a day when it's solid cloud to cloud, right? Where we've got just a solid layer of clouds up there, and see how much panel and whether we need a MPPT charge controller in order to collect enough power on a cloudy day to run our QRP radios. I know it's a little bit short, but you got to do these videos when you get a chance, when the conditions are available. Thanks for watching. Be sure to thumbs up and subscribe and communicate via the comments. And we'll see you later on Camping in a Ham Radio with Whiskey 4, Papa Oscar Tango 73.